Busking has always taken place in the busiest parts of town: markets, plazas, shopping districts, and so on. It's always been loud and very visible. It's a source of multiple art forms, and it has migrated those art forms all over the world. It is the way that the vast majority of live performance is consumed. It entirely transforms places within cities. It generates tourism. It generates mobs of hundreds of cheering, laughing, and clapping spectators. It is a discipline that has spawned innumerable household names, and it has been around in almost every town and city on the entire planet for at least 4,000 to 6,000 years. Considering the above, you'd expect there to be a whole bunch of research on busking, but there isn't. The world's anthropologists, musicologists, economists, urbanists, art historians, and all the other academics have collectively decided to ignore it. Thus, busking exists incomprehensibly in a data black hole. What little is known about street performance I'll talk about here, but it's only recently that academics around the world are starting to realize that busking might be worth a PhD or two. So let's first cover a few statistical facts that we do know. A touring street performer following the seasons, doing a few shows per day in the world's most popular tourism hotspots, might have a daily audience of about 1,000 people. If they work 4 days a week, 10 months of the year, that single busker will have an annual audience of about 175,000 people. What about a city? Well, several million people a year will walk past a single busking pitch in Covent Garden. There are 8 to 10 pitches in Covent Garden, several more in Trafalgar Square and Leicester Square, then dozens of other pitches spread out across central London, and an untold number in the outer boroughs. That's above ground. According to the London Underground, buskers on the Tube's 39 pitches have a unique audience of a couple of million people a day. That's 1 billion people a year. Taken together, and you start to realise that it's street performance that makes London a music city, more than its music studios, record label headquarters, or its indoor music venues. Another big part of the busking world is its festivals. Take the Edinburgh Fringe, which happens over 3 weeks every August. Approximately 3/5 of survey respondents at the Fringe say that the street performers are either the main reason or one of the main reasons for attending. As the Fringe is worth about £1 billion in indirect spending in Scotland, and it costs less than £200,000 to manage the street part of the festival, the return on investment of the Fringe's busking programme is not 3 to 1 or 30 to 1, but thousands to 1. Now on to some research. One study showed that buskers make people feel more welcome in an area. Another showed that buskers make people think an area is safer and more inviting. Another that people will travel further to go to a mall, even driving past other malls, if it means that they'll get to watch a street performer when they arrive. We did a study showing that the presence of street performers in TripAdvisor reviews eliminates the chance of that review being 1 or 2 stars. I've also done thousands of micro-studies over the last 30 years that have shown buskers make people clap, smile, and even cry if they're good enough. And yet, buskers get no credit. As an example, when I was first introduced to the concept of placemaking about a decade ago, I browsed through the website of the Project for Public Spaces. I later arranged a meeting with a staff member and told him, "Your website is absolutely full of pictures of buskers, but you never mention them." He responded along the lines of, and I'm paraphrasing, "I guess we always loved street performers, but never realized." It's time to realize. Although we all have fond memories of street performers, we don't think of just how much they do for our cities. It's why councils, business improvement districts, residents' associations, and other groups are free to ban or restrict busking with impunity. Someone needs to stick up for street performers, not just for their benefit, but for ours too. And we need to do it now, before it's too late.